Hello everyone, thank you for signing in and watching my live stream. This is the Pre-Algebra live stream session 2. We're going to talk about saying, writing, and rounding numbers. I'm Mr. Matt, and this is Dr. Tot. And last session we started to introduce the Arabic number system, so the general number-based system that we use in mathematics nowadays. This is compared to like the Roman number system or Roman numeral system. And we start with 0, then go from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and ending at 9. 0 through 9 we talked to before as being the foundational digits of our numbering system. And we go on from there to the numbers 11 through 20, which have unique number names. Then we start a systematic numbering approach to naming, saying, and writing numbers 20 onwards. So let me go ahead and share my screen with you. Hello, Dr. Ty. Here we go. Okay, and so like I was saying last time, our numbering system starts with the number 1. Oops, that's a little bit too much, right? Let's try this one. So we start technically with 0, and then we go on with the unique basic numbering digits of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and finally ending with 9. After 9, we regroup over into the first tens unit. So that's going to be the complement or the first multiple of 10, which is 10. Then 11, 12, 13, 14, oops, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19. So these are unique number names from 0 through 19 that you need to memorize. You can see that there's a little bit of a systematic approach when it comes to 13 through 19. It's basically the beginning kind of sound of 3, 4, 5, 6, 13, 14, 15, 16. 11 and 12 have a little bit of an alternate form than their single digit associates. And then 0 you can see is completely different than the first multiple of 10. So these are values that you do need to memorize, or names that you need to memorize. And then after 19, notice there's no hyphenation between 0 and technically 20, because 20 doesn't have a ones digit. But all values after 20 that have a tens and a ones digit start to become hyphenated or require a hyphen. So then we went on to look at the multiples of 10. So we said we have 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and 90. Now, if we want to create any two-digit numbers that have a tens and a ones digit, that's where you need to hyphenate. So there always needs to be a hyphen between the tens digit and the one. So for example, if we had the number 73, 73 written out, we start with the multiple of 10, which is 70, place a hyphen, then write the ones digit of 3. So 73 written out, 70 dash or hyphen 3. Same thing, 48. Start with the multiple of 10, 40. Hyphenate, do the ones digit, which is 8. Now this is going to work even when we get very, very large numbers. So for example, if we had 64,327. So first start in the largest set of values, the largest number block, which is the tens of thousands. Here we have 64,000. So we could write out 60 dash 4 with the thousands unit. 64,000. Notice that there's a comma in the number after the thousands unit, indicating the introduction of the first 3 number block in the numbering pattern. So wherever there's a comma in the actual number, there should also be a comma in the number name. So 64,000, comma 300. Oops. 27. Now between 20 and 7, there needs to be a hyphen. Okay, if there's any questions at all, please let me know. I'm going to give you 5 minutes. I'd like you to do A through F. I'd like you to write the name for the following numbers. Okay, so let's look at these problems. So for the first number, for the value 5, that's just one single digit, so we're going to write out 5. For B, we have 25. Remember, we have to hyphenate between the tens and the ones digit. So start with the multiple of 10, which here is 20. Hyphenate, then write your ones digit of 5. For C, we have 325. So start with the largest value, which is in the hundreds place. So we have 300. 25. 25 needs to be hyphenated, always. Next, we have 4,325. Notice the introduction of the comma after the third number block. So we have to, when we start the thousands digit, we have a comma between the hundreds and the thousands. So we need to make sure we replicate that in the name, in the word name. So if we have 4,000, comma, 300, 20, hyphen 5. For E, now we have 64,325. So we still just have another digit of the thousands. We're not adding another comma yet because we haven't gotten into past the 3 number block, the second set of 3 zeros in the numbering system. So we'll just start with the description of thousands. So we have 64 thousands, but notice 64 is a tens and a ones digit, so we have to hyphenate. So we have 60-4,000. There's a comma in the number after the 4, so we have to put a comma in the number after the 64,000. 320-5. And for F, now we have 864,325. Still, we haven't surpassed that second set of 3 zeros. So we're just going to describe this as 800 64,000, but after the 60, you need a dash. Comma. Oops, I'm sorry, my broadcasting went away. 1 second. I'll try and reconnect that. My apologies. Sorry about that. So we have 864,325. Okay, if there's any questions, please let me know in the live chat function, or if you're watching the recording, feel free to comment below. Otherwise, let's take a look at the next problems here. I would like you to write the number associated with the word name of these two numbers. So I'm going to give you 2 minutes, and then we'll go through. Okay, so if we look at these questions, first of all, let's just quickly review our decimal places. So this guy is our ones, this is our tens, this is our hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s, millions, 10 millions, and 100 millions. And then to the right of the decimal point, we have our tenths. Notice that suffix of THS, hundredths, thousands, this guy right here is your 10,000ths, and this guy right here would be your 100,000ths. Okay, so if we have 6,439, we're going to have 6, notice the comma right there, 6, comma, 439. And the number associated with the word name 9,406. Notice that we don't have any hyphenation in that last ones value, so that means we just have a single ones digit. We don't have a tens digit there. So that's going to be 9,000, 406. There's no like 26 or 36 or 46. It's just 406. So there's no tens units there. If there's any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to give you 3 minutes. Please do questions A through F. Okay, so let's look at these questions. So for A, we just have the number 6. That's a singular digit, so just SIX, 6. For B, we have 56. So we have a combination of a tens and ones decimal place number, or number with a tens and a values in the tens and ones decimal places. So we need to hyphenate. So start with the multiple of 10, which is 50 here. Hyphenate, write the ones digit of 6. 56. For C, we have a 176. So start with the hundreds value. We have 100. The tens multiple is 70. The ones digit is 6, but we need to hyphenate. 76. D, we have 2,176. So now we have 2,000. That's the largest value, the largest decimal place. I should say the largest decimal place holder is the 2. So we have 2,000. Now notice we have a comma after the 2 in the number. So we need to have a comma after the 2,000 in the name. 2,000, comma, 100. 76, start with the multiple of 10, 70, hyphenate, add the ones digit of 6. E, we have 21,760. Notice we have no ones digit there, so we're not going to have a hyphenation in this problem. Start with the multiple of 10,000, which here is the 20,000. We have 21,000, so that will be hyphenated because that's a tens and a ones digit combination. 20-1,000, comma, 760, no hyphen, because there's no ones value. It's just a multiple of 10 there, so it's just the unique name of 60. And then F, we have 217,601. Notice that I didn't say and 1. That's technically not correct. The end in the numbering system would imply a decimal point. So you want to try to not say the word end. Sometimes it can be tempting. But try not to say the word end when you're reading a number if you don't mean a decimal point. So 217,601. Start with the largest decimal place, which is in the hundreds of thousands. So 200,000, 217. Notice that 17 is one of those unique number names in between 0 and 20. So those are just, it's not going to be hyphenated. It has its own unique name. 217,000, comma, 601. That might sound a little strange because there's not like an end there, but technically that's correct. You only use the end when you're trying to connote the decimal point. Connote is a verb that means when you're trying to represent, when you're trying to mean, when you're trying to signify. So no hyphenation between 100 and 1. We have 217,601. Actually, no hyphenations at all in this number because we have the unique numbering name of 17 and then also just a singular digit of 1. So no hyphens are required here. If you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, let's take a look at these two problems. I'd like you to write the word name associated with these two numbers. I'm going to give you 1 minute. So for the first problem here, we have 27,763. So we're going to have 27, comma, 763. 27,663. Excuse me, 27,763. I can't even read my own number. I'm sorry. 27,763. The second number here, we have 34,266. So we have 34,000, comma, 266. If you have any questions, please let me know. Now I'd like you to take a look at these 4 questions. I'm going to give you 2 minutes, and you're identifying which decimal place each of the numbers occur, each of the values that are named occur in the numbers listed. So 2 minutes. Okay, so for the first question, what decimal place is the number 1 located in the number 7,641? So that's located in the ones decimal place. The second question, what decimal place is the 0 located in 8,602? So that's located in the tens decimal place. The third question, what decimal place is the 9 located in the number 893,526? So that's going to be located in the 10,000s. Let me move this guy up here. And then lastly, we're looking for the number 1 located in the number 1,262,769. So that's in the millions. If you have any questions, please let me know. Now I'd like to look at these 2 problems. Excuse me, these 4 problems. And remember, with rounding, locate the decimal place to which you want to round. When they say the tens place or the hundreds place, so on and so forth. Then locate the value directly to the right of that number. If it's 5 or above, you're going to bump the number up to the nearest the next value in that decimal place. If the value to the right of that decimal place is 4 or less, then you're going to keep it as it is, or you're going to round down. Okay, so I'll give you 3 minutes. Okay, so the first problem asks round 86 to the tens decimal place. So we're rounding to the tens. We're going to look to the number directly to the right, which is a 6. 6 is 5 or greater, so we're going to bump this up to 90. For 56, we're rounding to the tens, so we look to the number directly to the right. This is also 6, so we're going to bump this guy up to 60. For the third problem, now we're rounding to the hundredths place. So we're rounding to this decimal place. Look to the number directly to the right. That's 7. That is 5 or above, so we're going to bump this up to a 1. So this is going to be 1100 or 1100. In a similar fashion, the fourth question, we're rounding to the hundredths place, so look to this value right here. That's 9. That's definitely greater than or equal to 5. So we're going to bump this guy up to 2,300. If you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, let's take a look at these 4 problems. I'm going to give you 2 minutes. Okay, so for the first problem, round 7,354 to the hundredths decimal place. So we're rounding to this value right here. Looking to the number directly to the right, that is 5 or above, so we're going to bump this guy up to 7,400. For the second question, we're still rounding to the hundredths place, but now when we look to the number directly to the right, it's a 2. It's 4 or less. So this guy is going to stay at 400, so it's going to be 8,400, rounded down. The third question, round 1,231 to the thousandths decimal place, so we're rounding to this decimal place now. The number directly to the right is a 2, so we're going to round down to 1,200. The fourth question, still rounding to the thousands, so we're rounding to this decimal place, looking to the right, that's a 9, so we're going to bump this up to 3,000. Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. The third question, we're rounding to the nearest thousandths decimal place. My apologies. So this would be rounded down to 1,000 because we're rounding to the nearest thousand. My apologies. If we were rounding to the nearest hundredth, then it would be 1,200. If you have any questions, please let me know. That's going to take, I'm looking at the time to see if we could do one more, but I think we'll just save it for Friday. Let me increase my camera here. So thank you guys very much for signing in. Please like, favorite, and subscribe to my channel. I'm here for you every day. Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays are the math sessions. Tuesdays are the reading sessions, and Thursdays are the writing sessions. But pre-algebra delineated in those at that subject for pre-algebra, algebra 1, geometry, algebra 2. All of those academic support programs will start Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, starting at 5 o'clock. The SAT ACT prep class starts at 3 o'clock. All of those links will be available on my Facebook page. So for now, until we get 100 subscribers, we have to send out the unique YouTube links. But just look out for those on my Facebook. But otherwise, once we get those subscribers, then we'll have our own permanent place that we'll meet every day. But thank you very much for signing in, and I hope you have a wonderful night. The Algebra 1 tutoring academic support session will start at 6 o'clock in about 15 minutes. But I will talk to you all on Friday.